Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Olivia. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day today. Something that I want to talk about today is as I use social media, as I'm on social media right now, going to post this video, something that I have just learned and I have noticed about the way people use social media and online platforms and all these apps. You know, the very apps and the online platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, I think about even the years before COVID, like the 2010s, late 2010s. Those were great times for social media because I felt like people were more free in their posting on social media. People weren't so worried about the curated looks in the videos and this has to be look perfect and this got to look perfect too. And people just posted whatever they wanted to post, whether it was ice cream, pizza, pictures with family, a cool outfit. I just feel as though as we continue to progress in society and the world and use these apps, I think also this changed too when you could start getting paid to use social media and make social media look pretty and curated. I just think social media has become, we've lost the sauce. We've really lost the sauce. Social media online platforms used to be where a place where you expressed yourself. You would post whatever it is you wanted to post. You could be funny, you could be weird, you could just laugh, all these things, make jokes, show different sides of yourself. And now I feel like now it has just mainly become for validation. Freedom is freedom of expression and who you are and being authentic has very much changed on social media. Online platforms, social media, these apps have become performative, curated spaces where people are nervous to be their authentic self. They're nervous to tell their truth. They're nervous to say what they want to say because people are more concerned about the algorithm and the engagement that you get from videos and things that you post and making the pictures and videos look perfect and the bubbles and the typing. Not saying that's bad. I'm not saying that because to each his own. I think we have just really lost the sauce of the individuality and the reality. Just being authentic with ourselves on these platforms because we're starting to do it for validation of others. We're starting to do it for the likes and the shares and the comments. And social media used to be a place where you could express yourself and has turned into everyone just simply performing and making curated perfect videos and pictures and edits and everything in exchange for likes and the comments and the shares and the subscribers and the money. And it's generating money. Let's be real. It's changing people's lives in a financial way, which I'm sure is a good thing. It is a good thing to help. You're getting better, you get more money to live, but also overall I feel as though we're really losing the expression of self in it. And I feel like it's creating, I mean, social media is good. I love social media. So it has its good sides and its bad sides. But sometimes I feel like social media can put you in this cycle where you're constantly seeking the likes and the comments and the subscribers and the people following you, your followers, and it keeps you in this loop of that's what you begin to chase. And you're chasing people to validate you, and you're chasing people to like what you have to say. And you want the most likes, you want the most shares, you want the most comments. You start doing things that are popular, or you start following in line with what everybody else is doing, and we're losing the sauce of that, what makes us all individually unique. We have turned social media some into performances. We doing everything for a curated look. You know, we are nervous to share what makes us who we are, what makes us human, the things what we have gone through in life, our opinions, um, how you live, your experiences that could help someone else who's maybe going through the exact same thing. We feel as though that's not quote unquote profitable or that's not relatable, so we never share those things. And we want to do the curated videos and the thumbnails and the bubble words and the edits and everything. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. But actually, there's really nothing wrong with that. I just personally think don't lose yourself and the freedom of expression and your authenticity if that's something that you want to do. You know, don't lose the purpose of why you're doing it. Why are you doing it? Is it just something that makes you happy, or are you doing it for the likes and the shares and the comments and you want the engagement? You know, do it because you love it. And I feel like sometimes people are chasing the likes and the shares and the comments and the validation that can come on social media. And so because of that, people are validating you that you don't even know. You start thinking that your self-worth and who you are is tied to how many people are liking and commenting and sharing your videos, and that all this feedback that you're getting externally is more important than how you feel about your own self, how you view yourself being authentic and what you believe you yourself to be, or how you love yourself. And you know, I feel like we need to go back to just, I hope we haven't lost, well, I don't know, maybe that's why I try to be authentic and have more of freedom of expression, and just wanting to be real on social media, just because I feel like it's something that we're really losing. We're getting more curated and performance videos and topics and pictures, and we're keeping things safe, and we're talking about the most popular things or what everybody else is talking about, and you know, we're losing the individuality of it. And because of that, we're doing everything for the likes, and we want to seek the validation. It's being, you know, you're being driven from something externally rather than something internally. You're being driven from the feedback that you get from hundreds of thousands of people liking and commenting on your stuff, rather than your purpose, your internal values of the reason why you're doing what you're doing on social media, and why you putting yourself out there. And continuing to chase that validation all the time from people who, external feedback, your followers, the things that you say, or people, the things that people are watching you for, I feel like it can stress you out. I feel like it can stress you out when someone leaves a nasty comment, or you were hoping a video to do better than it did and it didn't do well, or maybe people are disagreeing with you, or it's just something that was, you posted something different, they didn't like it, so then you wind up deleting it because your desire for whatever it is you're trying to put yourself out there for wasn't achieved. And you know, the likes, the shares, the comments, the subscribers, the followers have turned into a source of status and currency. Well, and it's turned into currency because people are getting paid by it too. And, you know, it's starting to say that, you know, what you say matters and we value you and that you're good enough if you have 100,000 likes and 100,000 subscribers and 100,000 comments. But what about the people who don't have that, who only have maybe 5 subscribers or 1 like? Are you doing it for the likes and the comments and the shares, or are you doing it actually because of the purpose that's driven behind it? And you know, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, everything always stems from childhood. We learn to associate our worth with approval of people, and you know, when you're 5, 10 years old, if all your friends like it, you're like, okay, I got to do it. Okay, they approve, but if they don't, you start thinking that, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this. I feel sad about my self-worth now, or how I view myself. Um, like I said, I think it's just important to recognize, what is the purpose. Are you sharing this because it gives you purpose, or are you sharing it because makes you feel authentic, it makes you feel real, relatable, just it makes you feel better on the inside, your internal values, your well-being, or are we doing it to feel validated? Because I feel like that is two different things, and it's going to lead to two different outcomes. One, you may be fulfilled. The other side, you may lose that joy, you may lose your purpose, you may start getting stressed out and burned out because you know the results aren't matching up with what you want it to be. And I feel like that's why I want to be real as I can on social media. I don't do the thumbnails. I don't do the surprise faces people be doing, and the words, which I think that's cool. Who knows? Maybe I'll do it eventually, just not right now. I just want to be as real as I can on social media. And I apologize if you can't hear me, but I just want to be as real as I possibly can on social media. I feel like on social media, it's just more about expressing myself and letting different versions of myself speak, and me talking about different experiences and things that I have been through in life, or even the things that I think, my opinions about life overall. Maybe even giving myself grace, growing each time that I post a video. And it isn't, at least I just hope I don't lose the purpose of why that I do this. Or do I start thinking I need to do it for the likes and the comments and the shares and subscribers, or I'm doing it for the real reason to maybe let versions of me talk and have an opportunity to speak, even though giving myself grace and love and talking about things so that someone else could eventually do the same thing for themselves. When you open up and you're real and you're authentic, it allows people to do the same, because they recognize, you know what, she did it, I can do it too. He did it, I can do it too. And just the numbers, the followers, the likes, the shares, things that, I'm telling myself as I'm saying this, they don't equate to your value of who you are. Your self-worth is not tied to the numbers and how many people are following you and the approval, the external approval that you receive. You are still enough. You are still loved, valued, regardless of how many people are watching, regardless of how few people are watching. You could have 500 subscribers, 500,000, 500,000 followers, 500,000 likes, comments, all that stuff. Or you could have 5 subscribers, 1 comment. You're still enough. However you put yourself out there on social media, however many followers, likes, comments that you have, or how few likes, comments, and shares that you have. And I just think when you express yourself, when you're authentic, when you're real, when that is your purpose of why you put yourself out there on social media, to just be you, I feel like that allows you to have so much more happiness, a better well-being, mentally, emotionally, physically, overall. You're so much more satisfied because you're doing it for a purpose, and the purpose is a good purpose. You're doing it to express yourself, to be real, to be authentic, to let different versions of yourself speak, to just love whatever it is that you put out there on social media, your art, your craft, whatever it is that you do. And because you do it like that, you do what you love, I don't know, you get a lot more joy, more happiness, and more satisfaction out of it, rather than you beginning to do it because of the likes and the shares and the comments, and because the likes and the shares are not at the level that you want it to be. You start getting depressed, you start getting stressed out, you start getting burned out, because you're tying how you put yourself out there on social media to your self-worth. And because it doesn't do as good as you want it to, you feel as though that you're a failure, when you're really not. You're really not a failure, regardless if you got 100,000 likes, 100,000 views, or you got 1 view. You are still enough, regardless what you put that out there on social media. And that's just a message that I not only say in this video to talk to whoever is watching, but also to say it to myself, to give myself a reminder of why I do what I do when I come here on YouTube, or even just any other social media platform as well. But that's just something that I wanted to talk about today. Don't lose the reason why, the purpose of why you do what you do, the sauce, your secret sauce, your art, your craft of why you do what you do. But I hope everyone is having a fantastic day today. It was a beautiful one where I live. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.